Do you want early access? Do you want uncut reactions? If so, then check out our Patreon. Link in the description down below. We figured, hey, might as well finish up Season 3 since we are so close to the end of it.
I just knew we were about to move on to Avatar, and no offense against Avatar, but we're so close to the end of this season, and I'm just kind of like, the end of the season's like really getting good.
Yes. Well, the last episode was, of course, the big fight between Deku and Bakugo, so... I mean, it makes sense for us to like want to continue on and see where it goes from there.
Bakugo fights everybody.
Kind of curious. I'm like, how's this going to end? What's going to go down, you know?
I don't know. I'm curious. And honestly, this season so far has been amazing. I mean, I can't really say I've had the only problem I would say that I've had was that one filler episode that was literally a preview to the movie that we skipped. And I know people are going to be like, go back and watch it. And I was like, we'll probably watch it after the season's over. Maybe. I mean, it depends on what they say.
It's just the placement of it. Like, if they had placed it in like a more of a downtime spot, it would have been all right.
If it would have been a bonus episode
when it comes
at the end
in
of
and we're
season,
just like, nah, we're going to see what happens. Like,
Not today.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to know, well, here's the thing. If they would have placed it at the end of this season as like a bonus episode, that would have made sense. You know, it's just like, bonus episode, it's a lead into the new movie coming out this summer. It's like, okay, that's cool.
Even if they did it after the last episode, like right now, like that would make a little more sense. I feel like
it's
in the middle of something major kind of happening.
Yeah, the provisional hero exam. Dude, come on. Like have it take place in a lull part of like the story arcs. That's all we can really ask for. But anyway, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So, you know, without further ado, let's jump into this. This is My Hero Academia, Season 3, Episode 24, A Season for Encounters. Here we go. What's this dude's story?
Look at all those happy people on their way to work. Makes me sick. And what about me? I'm doing the same thing I do every day. You're doing something special. I'm staring out my window and people watching while having my morning cigarettes. And then the fun begins. Media's trying to scare people by stirring up unease.
However, despite All Might's retirement, we haven't seen many big changes in everyday life.
How do you think
You're different though, Mr. Miyagi. I approve of you. Gross! I
The
don't!
matter is that All Might simply got too big.
Not quite the same as All Might, so the public is focusing their fear on him, waiting to see how he'll act. More like an average guy pretending to play the hero. He is a superhero! Through circumstances beyond his control, he's inherited a role that he's totally unsuited for.
This is a prime example of why those of us in the media should stop reporting negatively about pro heroes and actively raise excitement for them.
The media trying to highlight the positives
The
in
man
society.
knows what he's
Yeah, that's a
talking about.
laugh. That's a friggin' laugh.
Physical power isn't the only thing that weakens. The heart does as well. Nah, it's all about power. Shut up! Leave me alone! I am here. That's what he said when he saved people's lives.
I think I just put
For any
together who
regular
that
Joe,
is.
that was reassuring. But for people like me, it
We've
was
seen that
nothing
character
short of a
before.
curse.
Oh,
But
that's
in costume.
the Deadpool guy.
Yeah.
This is the future now that he's gone.
Oh, come on. Give me a break for once. Hey, help me! Somebody stop him!
I get it. Crime is tempting for those who don't know what else to do with their quirks.
Your life of crime ends here.
But
Yarr.
this part is gonna be slightly different.
Yo, hurry up! You're facing the Reservoir Dogs! Don't you forget the name!
Kind of hard to, considering you ripped off
Staring
Tarantino.
across on a red light if everyone else is doing it too. Those who are teaming up and getting coordinated are starting to get some traction. What's up, Garen? How you been doing lately?
Long time no talk. These past few weeks, there's been a monumental surge in the black market. Everyone's looking for suits or support items. Demand couldn't be any better, my friend.
Well, that's nice to hear. No, it's not. Shut up! Damn it! So, why are you calling me? I'm a busy man, you know. I've got nothing to do.
I couldn't get a hold of Tommy.
Oh, it's
Any idea
switching.
where he is?
I know where he is. No, I don't. You can't keep pulling this crap.
Right. Okay then. Caught you at a bad time. Take care of yourself, huh?
The goal is to make the organization even bigger.
What the hell are you? Your face makes me want to puke.
Keep looking at me like that and I'll kill you.
Pity. You're not what we need.
Oh,
Once I'm wrapped up, I'm whole.
there you go.
My quirk is called Twice. It's a simple power that turns one thing into two. I can make a clone of myself, and then make clones from that clone. An entire gang of just me. I was almost killed by myself. The things I make don't disappear until they've taken some serious damage. Before long, all of us were arguing with each other, each one of us thinking we were actually the real me. In the end, they killed each other and disappeared. All gone. Ever since then, I haven't been sure that I'm the real me.
That's
And
actually
there's
pretty.
no place in the
That's
world
actually
where crazy
wow.
people can belong.
I didn't think about that. That's like Multi-Man. Multi-Man, he creates multiple actually, Naruto actually had a similar thing happen to him in one of the filler episodes where he created multiple clones and he got knocked out, and all of a sudden he actually saw from the perspective of one of his clones, and he saw like the different parts of him that came out in those clones, like a more feminine version of himself, a more hot-headed version of himself, like a more nervous version of himself.
Trying to find the ones with the same kind of crazy. We're all wackos looking for a place we belong.
Oh,
A bunch of capable adults got together, and all they stole was a convenience store register. You guys aren't well. What you need is a cure. They're all sick.
What a bunch of Rona-ready
Last
dudes.
one of them.
But the biggest wackos have stopped searching for a place to belong and created their own.
There's hardly any pain or weird sensations. I was really careful to hold back when I threw a punch against Kachan yesterday.
I heard a little rumor about Class 1A. 2 people! You had 2 people fail the licensing exam, you losers!
Bet you were the only one in your class to fail. Just like in the final, huh? That wasn't an answer.
Actually, every one of us passed. Oh, hey, isn't she the exchange student?
Touch me and I'll pummel you till your mama doesn't know ya!
The fuck?
Stop filling your mind with crazy.
physical
It's the
aptitude.
adorable small mammal you all know and love, the principal. You may notice the fur I'm so proud of has deteriorated in quality. I haven't been taking care of it. This is something that can happen to humans, too. Disturbances in your normal resting patterns are terrible for your hair. So if you want to improve your fur strength and
this
speed,
really important right now?
please
Stop touching his tail.
My own
That's so
son
weird.
has been upset by the incidents that took place over summer vacation. You must approach extracurricular activities, like the hero work studies available to second and third years, with a greater sense of caution and attentiveness than before. I don't want any of you to forget that you're the ones who will inherit our society.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
He's amazing.
Right? As you just heard, there was
Speech of the year, man. Give him a hand.
to life in the dorms, but let's all be a little more respectful moving forward.
It was a couple of first years you were fighting. 2 boys from class 1A. Isn't that a scoop? Hey, do you know them? They must get excited easily.
Really?
The heck are they?
May I ask a question? What were those things the principal was talking about during the opening ceremonies? I've never heard the term hero work studies before.
I guess telling you now is more logical. To put it simply, it's work outside of class. Like the internships you did at pro-hero agencies before, only closer to the real thing.
Oh.
I never heard about these.
Wait, then why do we work so hard at the sports fest?
You'll be using your connections from the festival to secure a work study. It's basic networking. That means those who weren't scouted at the sports festival will have a hard time lining one up, I'm afraid. Until now, there haven't been many first years who've received their licenses. With the increased activity of villains, we're currently exploring the idea that you can participate in work studies as well.
First period is English! In other words, it's jam time! Been an age since I stood on this stage, you miss me? We've got a lot to cover today, let's get rolling with it, you dig?
You dig?
Oh!
Excuse me, but what is with this dust, Bakugo?
Who was supposed to do that? Shut up! Hey, can't you even clean something right, you idiot?
Sorry. About those work studies, I wasn't scouted, so I wonder if I'll get to participate in one.
In just one day, I've been completely left behind. That's what you're thinking, right, house arrest?
Hey, don't call me that, it's mean!
The teachers have forbidden us from giving you any details about our classes. Sorry, but you'll just have to experience the same shock and surprise we went through. Did you catch that, Bakugo?
Shut your mouth! I heard you, Four Eyes!
Everyone's gonna be learning new stuff while I'm stuck hanging out in my room. I hate this. I can't slow down now.
Trash, am I right? What are you doing? You know you can just throw away the food trays with the burnables, don't you?
What?
Am I going insane?
So you must be that excitable first year, aren't you? I bet that was a freaky surprise for you. I admit, sometimes I even weird myself out. You know, once in a blue moon. But don't worry, you're gonna find out who I am soon enough. I'm just glad it looks like you've got a fighting spirit.
Okay.
Okay, what just happened?
Just run.
I feel like I've seen him somewhere
Just
before.
run.
Guys, I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused!
No sweat, Deku. Thanks for your hard work.
All he did was vacuum.
Now that Midoriya is back, we'll go into more detail about what the work studies entail. I'll have people who've experienced them firsthand explain. I suggest you listen carefully as they point
Wait a
out how
minute.
work studies differ from internships.
Damn it.
These three are third years at UA, the big three.
Is that the character?
I think so. I recognized her from the artwork. Let's see, where's she at? Yeah, there she is. Yeah, everyone gotten a big tiff about this character right here. Why? Because of the size of her honkers. Look, here's the thing. You're obsessing over a fictional character. A fictional character. Grow up. God. Sorry. It's just... Okay, let's see if there's a post-credits.
I'm completely unaware of this you
Okay.
you mentioned in the past. We don't have to bring it up. I haven't noticed it on the internet. But
Well-
not that I frequent a lot of My Hero stuff.
Well, no. Well, the thing is...
I don't know if it's because they increased dramatically between this scene here and, like, season 4 or something, but I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
They already don't look that big, so what are people complaining about? Like,
I don't
they were
know.
complaining about them being too big.
I don't know.
They were saying.
Like it represents unrealistic standards. Oh, you think this guy lives up? Look at his freaking face. Who has a face like that?
Unrealistic standards.
Yeah, unrealistic standards. Yeah, look at this guy right here. Oh,
It's
clearly
like
he's slouching. This is clearly an affront to introverts. Like, shut the.
If you think that dudes actually care that much about your tits being huge, then you're fucking.
They took
playing
Lucas from
yourself.
Smash Bros. And gave us some human growth hormone.
He does.
He can even go up through the bottom of the platforms, like how you jump through the pass-through platforms. Well,
Yeah, he kind of does. Damn it, dude. He does kind of look and have the same powers as Lucas.
I mean, wait, why is she a controversy? Because I mean, we have Yaoyorozu from like episode 1, basically.
Oh, they tried to do that. But you see, here's the thing
It's
about
supposedly because they were drawn two different ways in two different scenes.
Well, and here's another thing about Yaoyorozu. Her character, from what I understand, I mean, like looking back at character biographies, she actually wanted her suit to be even more risque, so that she could actually pull larger objects from her skin.
Right.
But they PG'd it down because when she got her uniform, because just like, yeah, we can't do that. And the whole thing is, it's everybody getting bent out of shape over fictional characters. I don't get it. I don't care. Like, and it's just the whole thing with her is just the reason for them getting bent out of shape. Like they say, oh, it's different from how it is in the comics or in the manga. I saw the picture that they used as an example, and I'm like,
yeah, the whole
that's not that different.
standards argument doesn't even make sense. It's like, who the fuck is saying that this is the standard for beauty among like
no one
females? Like,
no one. It's people making up the agenda in their mind and thus projecting it on everyone else. Oh, I'm uncomfortable with this. I have to project my insecurities out onto everyone else to make them feel uncomfortable too, so that I'm not the only one who's fucking miserable.
I'm insecure because I can't shoot fire out of my hands.
Yeah, I'm insecure because I'm fat. Oh my gosh, people should feel sorry for me because I got a belly. Oh my god, it's not like it's my own fault from eating shitty food and being depressed half my fucking life.
I'm insecure because I have crippling anxiety that tells me that everything I do is wrong somehow.
Yeah, and you know what? Life's shitty sometimes. We got to deal with it. That doesn't mean you got to project your insecurities on everybody else to try and make everybody else feel bad just so you can feel better about yourself. That's not how it works. God have mercy. Sorry.
Plus, I know a lot of women that actually look basically like that. So
I do too. Blue hair included.
It's straight up insulting to like start like bashing on a character that people actually do look like. Yeah, guess what? It's not just a drawing. Like, she's based off of like women that actually look that way.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point in arguing with these people, dude? They don't care. They have their agenda. They've spoken their piece, and they think they're right. Which
like hint,
hint,
the ones that
not,
think they were right
wrong.
about saying that they should censor the fucking new character from Persona 5. Like, you're literally being the most ridiculous, uptight, like, unlikable person by being that way.
Well, that's the thing with most Japanese companies. Most Japanese companies, especially those who make anime, do not care and pretty much give them collectively the middle finger. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing with like the only reason Sony did it is because Sony of America has considerable amount of pull in Sony, and thus they pulled strings to make it happen because you have to bow down to Neil Druckmann because, oh my gosh, he created The Last of Us. Yeah, bow down.
There's people who don't even play the games because they would have been complaining during the first game because On's outfit is like straight up just. I mean, she covers herself up because she's like, what the hell is this outfit?
Yeah. It's
like, why weren't you complaining about On showing off like nearly all of her tits? Like, if you're gonna complain about a girl wearing a sports sanctioned school uniform that is like a gymnastics leotard, like, for real?
Yeah. Well, again, I think.
Anyways, there's no point in ranting about that. That's been ranted
again,
about.
Nick. I think it's because that's why they're so angry.
No,
the L's are hard.
I told that to Nikki one time, and she actually just like straight up just stared lasers through me, and I'm like, what? I mean, honestly, think about it. I told it to Chad too, and he was dying laughing. Oh God. Sorry. I'm glad I could provide some levity there. Bring us back into the light.
Yeah.
Because the needless negativity of mass news media and the world at large, we have to be negative because, nothing in the world is good anymore. Shit. It's like even trying to tear down Elon Musk. The dude literally is taking us into the future, and here you are saying, well, people who were fired from his company said he's a slave driver. And I'm like, how much were they getting paid an hour? Almost $30 an hour? Okay, shut the fuck up.
He put a man on space. What do you know?
And another thing, too, I just like that dude who literally landed a satellite on an asteroid while it was moving really fast, and supposed to be a big celebrated thing. And what do they focus on? The shirt he's wearing has women who are being objectified. It's like,
didn't his girlfriend give him that shirt?
The shirt was made by his girlfriend, a woman.
Yeah,
it's like the shirt was made by a woman. What are you talking about?
God damn it!
What are people like? Literally, this dude did an impossibly scientifically amazing thing that has taken us all of this time throughout all of our scientific
The more I hear about
innovations.
people talking, the more I'm just like, was free speech a good idea?
It is, but at the same time, free speech with if you're going to report something, you at least need to have some accountability. And if you don't, you lose.
That was back. That was back when it was still legal to challenge people to duels, and they could accept.
Yeah.
Now, see, making duels illegal, was that a good idea?
That's the real question.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's how we took care of Alexander Hamilton. So everybody knows how I feel about central bankers.
Oh yeah, and also as much as Lin-Manuel Miranda's musical tries to glorify him and make him seem like a good person, he wasn't. The man was still a slave owner. The man was still personal life a piece of shit, and all on it. And I know the musical doesn't portray him as like a perfect person, but it still glosses over a lot of the facts. And I'm sorry, but Alexander Hamilton, even though I share his namesake, was not a good person. But anyway,
your name is Alexander?
No, Hamilton, last name. Yeah, fucking. I'm sorry, my Christian name, actually Hamilton is Scottish, so yeah, there you go. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this was an interesting one. A season for encounters. I guess we're gonna find out in the next one about the big three. I don't even know the character's name, and there's already been so much controversy about her. But the other two, I'm interested to see what they're capable of. The big blonde one, or I'm sorry, Lucas. Lucas from
Super Lucas.
Super Lucas. His seems to be sort of like Kitty Pryde's ability. He's able to transubstantiate matter and just go through walls, and also go into the ground, and apparently not sink all the way. So maybe he's able to have full control over it. To he can make his foot solid, and he's able to like stop himself from going too low, because how gravity works, if your body goes completely translucent, gravity will still press you towards the center of the earth no matter what, which always threw Kitty Pryde's power for a loop in my mind, because would she fall to the center of the earth if she didn't have control of it? Because that's how gravity would work.
That's why she has a helium balloon in her pocket. And
yeah,
I feel like once you're denying physics in terms of passing through solid matter, you're denying physics in terms of gravity affecting you as well.
True, that's true.
That's just how I look at it. I'm just if you're going to be passing through solid objects, I don't think gravity is going to be that big of a deal.
Transubstantiation does not literally mean the removal of mass, or it's not like Ochiko's power. Ochiko's power is literally she is able to pretty much remove gravity's effect on the things.
Is mass
that she touches.
not defined by the way that you're on an anatom
mass is your atomic,
like a microscopic whatever the fucking word is. I having ADD.
Mass
on a very a proton neutron very small level.
Mass is your atomic
that not
weight.
How close they are together and shit.
Mass is your atomic weight.
Yeah.
Mass is your atomic weight, whereas volume is the amount of space that you take up.
And whenever you're passing through a solid thing, essentially you would be disassembling your atoms and shit and moving them between the atoms and shit of something else.
That would be a density issue.
So your atoms and shit still would be balancing on and have to pass through in a downward motion like other ones. And so if you're putting forth a motion to go through something, then you should be able to theoretically also stop the motion of gravity from pushing you down.
Potentially, but that is if the effect of gravity is not affecting your anchor point. Your anchor point for gravity is your feet. Your anchor point that keeps you from falling forward and falling back and pretty much flying away is your feet. And what you would have to do is make sure that your feet are solid and are still able to interact with the ground without having to fall through and slip through the layers. And if that's the case, then yes, you can transubstantiate on a physical way. But if your entire body goes, then you're pretty much at gravity. You're pretty much at gravity's gravity's will.
Well, no, he's talking about some kind of atomic friction, where it's it's not just completely gone. So you can dog paddle. So the friction, you could pull yourself up through.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's potential that you could initiate the friction to where it could interact enough with the layers that you're on.
But still pass through.
That's the thing about atomic density.
Splitting yourself into your atomic makeup separately and controlling each one separately, so that it wouldn't be the same as being a mass. You wouldn't still be a person with the mass that you had. Each one of your protons would be its own thing, going and doing its own thing, but you're still controlling each of them individually.
Yes.
So if you're having those at that point, the mass of each one is basically so small that gravity isn't affecting it the same as if they were all bundled together. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair enough.
Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying. I mean,
so you're not still the same weight that you are, because you're now just the weight of each of your individual atoms and shit.
Yeah. Well, again, we don't know how
I'm
this
probably
guy's power
triggering the
works.
crap out of some science nerd that's just like,
Well,
use the correct term for what
What's
you're
it-
made out of. But
Well, I mean, it's
my
like
ADD
it's
is so acting
it's
up
like
right
basically
now.
a comic book show, so it's like rules
It
don't
is.
matter.
Well, it's just like Ant-Man. That's the reason why Ant-Man's atomic mass. I mean, even if he went to the subatomic level, it would be an impossibility because him doing that would create a black hole because he would effectively be transubstantiating all matter on this plane and going into where supposedly theoretical string theory is. Which
Yeah, I don't even think he's Catholic.
If you're trying to make like 100% of stuff work scientifically in comics, you're gonna have.
It's
a bad
impossible.
Time. Like,
well, yeah. Well, Superman, like one of the first like big superheroes, literally can fly through the air with no way of propulsion. Thor can fly through the air because his hammer carries him through the air. I mean, and it's just Stan Lee had this argument against it, and I like Stan Lee's argument a lot when it comes to why Superman is not that good of a superhero.
Well, he obviously has some kind of psionic component because you can't just pick up a plane without just like punching through it. I mean,
Yes.
So the fact that he can do that means he has some sort of psionic component to his strength.
Or Siegel and Schuster just did not understand physics.
What that too?
All right, well...
Or they didn't care about physics.
Exactly. That's the other thing, too. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. This was My Hero Academia, a season for encounters. This was a pretty good episode. We got to be introduced to the big three, and I guess we're going to see what their powers are in the next episode. So, until then, I'm Nate.
Micah.
I'm Nick.
And we'll see you then. Peace out.
Thank you.